G'day guys and welcome to the Centre Bounds for my round 10 review for how I did, and I am not a happy Joe today. Not happy whatsoever from a couple of different perspectives, and it all stems from Brad Scott. As you can tell by the title of this video, I am not a happy chap at the moment. He is killing my Supercoach and my enjoyment for watching the Bombers. And you might think by this point in time, seriously, mate, how are you not used to the same olds, the old school Essendon that you can't rely on to get a win or to perform or to get your hopes up just a little bit? My hopes weren't up. My hopes were not up. All I was hoping for was at least a competitive hit out where we just simply get beat by a better side, not that limp ass terrible performance. And it's the style. The style is disgusting, and the decisions made really suck. Like, seriously, his refusal to play Elijah Sardis disgusts me. I get it, not the best tackler, but no one else is apparently, because I've never seen so many broken tackles in my life on Saturday. Unbelievable. So it doesn't matter if he's not tackling. At least he gets the ball in his hands more often than not. So if we have the ball, there's no need for him to tackle because he's got the ball in his hands. So play the kid, firstly. Secondly, stop subbing or using Sard as the sub. He is not our problem. He is not the problem, for goodness sake. You had someone like Bailey Dale break the record for disposals for the Western Bulldogs. Bro, I'm not a coach. I'm not even a good super coach, let alone a coach. But you've got a guy. You've tried Hobbs, it didn't work. You tried Perkins, it didn't work. And you tried Nick Martin, it doesn't work. You know who could have worked maybe? Sard might have been a great fit playing against Bailey Dale. He's got legs and he's not a baby. He's got VFL experience, so potentially he might have some physicality, and he has legs. Why don't you try and play a run with role? Plus, he's defensively minded because he plays on the wing. So try him. Instead, no, we'll sub him out tactically at half time, and we'll leave someone like Day Wicks, who hasn't seen the ball in his life, basically. Leave him there, sub out Sard to put Shield in. Sub out Day Wicks, send Hobbs forward or someone else forward to then facilitate Shield. Or better yet, don't play Shield at all, and instead play Sardis, because this guy is going to be Massimo D'Ambrosio 2.0. He's going to go somewhere else and perform well, and we're going to be stuck playing Dylan Shield, who, no disrespect, at his best is great. But is he going to be part of our future? No, he is not. So there we go. I've had a bit of a rant, a bit of a rocket, because gee whiz, the team did not perform well this week, both from a Supercoach perspective and an Essendon perspective. 21-84 this week for my team, and we slid. I thought we'd slide more, to be honest. I thought we'd slide more, but thankfully we didn't. What happened? Whitfield 109, Sheasel sort of knew that Shees was not going to go great because of the new role, the role change. Zorko, the 99, was looking great at the start, but just like the Lions, they just died at the end. Clark with a 109, classic Clark score. Reed with a 75, mate. We were absolutely destroyed on the weekend, and no pressure on kicks inside forward 50 for him to finish on 75. Well done, man. Trainer with a 52 was looking on track for a sort of similar score, but of course he has to be subbed out as well. The sub rule has killed Supercoach. I don't know if it's that much of an over dramatic exaggeration, but the sub rule disgusts me, and no one likes the sub. No one likes the sub rule. No one wants to be the sub. No one wants to be subbed off. No one wants a debutant come on into the game as a sub. The sub is just disgusting in all facets. So this, it's so annoying. Saad with a 47, subbed. O'Connell with a 56. Good stuff, mate. Keep it going. I need you to keep making me money. Brayshaw 99. Sarong finally beats him. Merritt 65. Oh, my boys destroyed me this week. My boys destroyed me. So much forward time as well. It's so bad. Neil with a 116 and Dunkley with a 110. He was the person that I added. And you might notice that there is no Sinclair. Where is Sinclair? Well, we didn't get him because we got Todd Goldstein instead. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we got Todd Goldstein. All right, so shout out to my boy Hippo. I love you, man. You're a legend. We message a lot, and we both got on board Todd Goldstein thinking, geez, we need money. Sims wasn't a great option, didn't appear to be a good option, and Simpson, we weren't sure about his job security. So we're thinking, you know what? If we get Todd instead of TDK, he's a ruck. He's got a good run, good matchup, number one ruck for the Bombers. We obviously need him to play because we don't have anybody else. Leaves a lot of money in the bank. And he could be a decent player that we just hold on to during the buys with the good run that he's got. And he could keep going. You know, some of his scores that he was scoring quite well. If we score back here, 97, 62, obviously that was against Tristan Sherry. He's not against Tristan Sherry every week, is he? And then 115 against Grundy. So we're thinking, you know, he's up against English. He's not that bad. He's got Nank. You know, Big O was all banged up and wasn't looking too good. So we thought he might be a decent hold during the buys, and we can flick him off after he makes a bit of money. 40. My God. Meanwhile, Sinclair, who my initial plan was, goes 130. So, yeah, look, I'm not blaming you, Hippo. You know I love you, bro, to the moon and back. You're a legend. And I am not blaming you. This was my decision. I did not have to go along with it. But hey, at least we're in it together. And I'd love to trade him out. But alas, we have other problems in this team that we need to solve. So, yes. Goldie against Nank, you've got to rectify your mistakes, mate. We need you to actually get some hitouts to advantage. Because without hitouts to advantage, we're screwed, mate. And your Supercoach scoring is also screwed. So please, fix that up, Goldie. I really need you to do that for me. Very much so. So, we've got these issues with the team, with these Essendon players. I want to trade out Sardis, but I just feel like with the way things have played out, he just simply has to play this week. You just simply have to play him. If you don't play him, Brad, just literally come out and say, anyone want to put their hands up for this guy? Give us your best offer. Seriously. You might as well just advertise it here and now, because even Cal Toomey from now is saying this guy is gettable, he's going to go, it just goes to show that you don't rate him. And I rate him more than I rate Dylan Shield, just plain and simple. So I think Sardis has to play. So you're happy with Neil and Dunkley. Dacos just doesn't seem to be going at 100%. It was looking catastrophic at quarter time. Maxwell with a 51, was hoping that he'd do a bit better than that. But considering that the Saints gave the Eagles their first win, congratulations to the Eagles. Gross as the sub managed to get the 42, break even of 13. Please just keep holding on to your spot, mate. Like, you don't change up the team. It sucks that he's probably going to be the sub again because Mick Walter seems to hate him and thinks that he's gross, not Gross. So I think we're just going to be stuck with Gross. Just continue making money. Lindsay with his 67, good on you. Break even still 34. You're back at the MCG. So, yeah, happy with Lindsay. He's doing well. He was also looking really bad for a period of time. But the bench looks disastrous. But I just think off the back of a smashing, and we need a bounce back, and the midfield got done, you just play this kid. I think Sardis has to come back this week. I think Hustwaite might be a chance. I know it's crazy, but from some of these group chats that I'm in, someone mentioned that apparently Newcomb might be in a moon boot. So is Hustwaite a chance to come in? I don't know. If he is, then I just simply have to hold him as well with that -8 break even. Campo, yeah, he's done. Campo is dead. So that sucked. We took the Sherry VC, which was very good. Baz 156. Honestly, this guy probably should be almost a perma VC option really every week with the way he's going, averaging 120 for the year. And I really am tempted to do it this week up at GMHBA against his old mob, the Dogs. But I don't know how much of a fight is going to blow up, and therefore whether or not he's going to be in footballing shape. Petrarca the 94, yeah, classic Petrarca score. Rankin 90, you absolute muppet. You're supposed to be a forward who plays midfield, not a bloody midfielder who forgets how to kick set shots. Are you kidding me, Rankin? Bloody hell, man. Bloody hell. You left a monster score out there. McRae is a problem. He's got back problems, like really bad back problems, to the point where he didn't even get this. He's getting scans on his back in WA. He hasn't left WA. The team and everyone came, but he stayed back there to get the scans done. So not looking good for McRae. I think I'm going to have to trade him based on that alone. Which sucks because there's not the time to be sideways in premiums and crap like that. But if your back is so bad that you had to get scans over there and not back here home, then they're really bad. And Marriage at an 85, which is really good considering they won quite comfortably. So the defender with an 85 and a comfortable win is great. And Daniel was back to his role, of course, at Sheasel's expense, clear with a 58. So, and of course, we spoke about Goldie without his hitouts to zero advantage, and we got pummeled by over 90 points. So, yes, you love to see it. So, this is the team. It is interesting, to say the least. I was really happy with the midfielders that I've got, but remarkably, only 2 of them turned up, and they're both turned up in a loss, which is crazy to me. So this is the team as it currently stands. I have a lot of money in the bank, courtesy of course, the concerns with the cash generation, as well as I just didn't think Sinclair would be going up in price. I thought Goldie would be a good stopgap there and could be an easy way to get to Bont as one of the midfielders. But if Sardis, who I think should be named this week, comes in, I've got to hold him. If Hustwaite is named this week because potentially, I don't know for certain, I haven't seen it anywhere apart from one group chat that Hustwaite might be in the moon boot. If that's the case, then I think I hold on to Hustwaite. It's a weird position. It's weird right now. I don't have any boost. I'd love to have a boost to get Simpson in and do all of these wonderful things, but alas, I don't. So now I'm in this weird position where do I hold on to McRae? Well, we'll find out with the injury news, but if his back is so bad that he couldn't fly back and needed to get attention over there, then I think McRae goes, which sucks. Max Hall, 64 break even. He's getting close. Think it's almost time to say goodbye to Maxi. Trainer with a break-even of 71. He would have beaten that last week if he wasn't subbed off. Potentially he was the sub because there's a 5-day break. But he had a 46 against West Coast, a 52. But then again, also he was playing with Noah Bolter. Now, on Friday night against the Bombers, there is no Noah Bolter because obviously due to curfew. So maybe Trainer scores another 80, but maybe he doesn't either. So what can we achieve if we traded out him as well? What can we achieve? Forget. Now the thing is, I want to keep a spot here. If not here, then in the flex. But Mills, I think, has to be a real consideration. Callum Mills scored 105 Supercoach in a half of VFL football against Carlton seconds. And Mills could be coming into the side as soon as this week because he's been training with the seniors for the last 2 weeks and then played a half of VFL last week and scored 105. So I do want to keep a spot there for Mills. And Mills will then get the DPP with the midfield as well. So we'll have the coverage. But in the meantime, he's only going to have defensive status. I'm not going to go immediately on Mills. That would be fraught with risk. But I do also want to... Do I need Simpson? Because I think Simpson is the one to get who's on the bubble this week, having scored 71. So if Simpson is the one I need to bring in, I mean, is it necessary? Do I have the money in this team to finish off the side? Because we have a lot of money. And if we're trading out McRae, it is possible that we could get another premium in still. So if, say, we were to get... I mean, we could go cheap and get like a Shy Bolton. We already have one person who can give us 40s. Why not match him up with another one who can also go 40s with the DPP and the goodbye? And then say if we were to get rid of Max Hall, 606k, that's still heaps of money. I'd love to not field Gross, but I might not have to because we need to have changes in our team. You don't lose by 90 points and have no changes. So I think so. And if there is a moon boot involved, then Hustway could be in. Oh, but I don't want Gross on the field because he's probably just going to be another sub again. And if I trade out Campo, I mean, it could just open up a lot of money for next week. But next week we're in the buys. You're not going to be upgrading necessarily in buy round because whoever you trade into is about to miss a week. So maybe we don't even downgrade next week. If we go to Trainer, we can just afford the Sinclair. And then maybe and then in a couple of weeks, maybe it's just Hall or someone gets traded out to get Mills. But I just want to have a look at this team again. So do we have the money in this team right now as it is? Do we have the rookies there to finish the team? So Mills is going to be a cheap upgrade to finish off the season because we know we're speaking about him in the preseason. So he's 357. Okay. Very easy to get a Mills in. Very easy. A 1 down, 1 up, potentially of Sard and Liam O'Connell could get him in a couple of weeks' time. So these two can get me Mills. Hall is close to maxed out. Hall and Goldie plus Lindsay. So these three can get me Bond. Butters is dropping like crazy. He's 633 with a break-even of 206 up against Freo. Now, he's gone 115 and a 129. Let's just say he goes 120 this week, 124. He loses another 36,000. And he gets to 596. And then he has GWS, who probably send Bedford to him. So we're in no rush to get Butters now. Butters, we can probably aim to get maybe round 14 back at home, Adelaide Oval, 3 games in a row. So Butters might be someone we aim in round 14, and then round 13 might be the week we try and aim for a guy like Bond, who will be still very expensive in round 13. His break even is 157. He's up against the Cats. If he goes a 132 as projected, he'll be 654. He's really not losing much, is he? He went 122 there last time. He's in ripping hot form. He's refreshed, having not played the start of the season. Bro, Bond is Bond. Against the Hawks, is he really going to go 139? Are you telling me that his projected worst score in the next 5 weeks is 127? Really? Then 123? You tell me he's not going to go worse than 123 all year? Really, Supercoach? Is that what you're telling me? 123 from here on out is his worst score? The Bond. Bond is Bond. Okay. Forward line was done, but McRae is dead. So we need another forward, probably, to replace McRae. Now, Horne-Francis is also dead, and I wouldn't have even gone Horne-Francis because he has the bye. Could go Jackson or Chad or Mardo. Could go Jackson. Let's pull up DFS. Now, is Sean Darcy going to return? Sean Darcy, is he going to return this week? He got injured last week. When they were playing together against the Saints, it was Darcy who was the main guy. I don't remember in this game if Jackson was the main guy before Darcy got injured or not. But if they're not going to play Darcy, then Jackson could be a fair shout. What's the ruck run like for the rest of the season for the Fremantle Dockers? It's pretty mid. I don't know why for some reason showing he's got a bye this week. So he's got Port, Gold Coast. Where do they play the Gold Coast? Is that home or away? People first. Piss off. That's not good. All right. He'll probably struggle there, won't he? Yeah, he probably will. Not in those greasy, slippery conditions. So that'll be a red. Where is it? Fremantle here. Yes, that's a red. Then he has the bye. Then he's got Sherry. Yeah, not a great 4-week patch, is it? The Chad. I feel like I might just go Chad. Chad's been good. Chad's been very good. So the forward line's finished again. Unbelievable. If we trade out Hall, we'll have 496. That's enough for Bolton. Yeah. And still leaves a decent amount of cash in the bank. Has a good buy, has some DPP. But of course, is prone to going missing. But yeah, there's no one really else at that. There's no one else at that price. I could get Chera back before his buy, but there's really no one else at that price point, unless I don't get Warner. Now, McRae and Hall has a lot of money in it. It could even get me the Bont from now, which is kind of crazy considering the fact that he'll play this week and then be off next week. And then come round 13, who do I want to trade into? The Bont. So trading in the Bont right now is not on the agenda. As much as I would love to do it, not on the agenda. We're going to try and find value, I think. And I think Heaney presents value. I think Heaney presents good value. He was sensational against the Blues, who are no easy beats in that midfield. He was sensational. And he really let them off the hook. This could have been one of the greatest single performances of all time. I know it's a big call. But look at his stat sheet. 38 disposals, 2 goals, 5. One of them hit the post, and another one, I think, only just missed those snaps. Like, these were really close misses. Imagine if it was 38 disposals, 5 goals, 2. 38 disposals and 5 goals, 2. Bonkers. 9 against the Bombers. He had 2 behinds there. 22 disposals against the Giants. I think he copped a tag from Bedford. And Bedford's a tough tag. For him to go 83 is not bad. I can only imagine that having some more support from a Mills type will be really beneficial to him. And he's been missing a lot of shots on goal. He's been leaving a lot of points on the table. And his run to come is pretty good. Melbourne, home, Richmond, Port, Shambles, the Dogs, but at home, Freo at home. So it's a pretty good run, I think. I think Heaney presents value, and he's a bit of a pod. I don't think too many people are on Heaney, and I need something different. I need something different to change up the team because quite a few people own these players that I've got. So I want to go slightly different, I imagine. He's in 6% of teams. How many teams is Merritt in? 16. Brayshaw's probably in a lot. Yeah, 20. Neil, 28. Dacos, 54. Dunkley, 16. Yeah, so I need point of difference that can pop up and go really well. I think Heaney can do that for me. 519. Alas, I don't have any more DPP that I can do shenanigans with. As you can see, we're thinking on the fly because things are a little bit all over the place. Look, it could just be Shea Bolton. Forward line finished. Ruck's finished. We've added another midfielder. We've left this spot open for Mills, who will be a final upgrade. So you can just be Trainer and O'Connell. Could get me Mills very, very, very easily. Then Goldie, Lindsay, and Cleary can probably get me the Bont. Goldie should be around 400, Lindsay about 300, and you're close to 300. So that should be enough to get me the Bont. And then Butters would be Sard, Sardis, maybe Hustwaite, or maybe Gross, I don't know. But we've left some money in the bank. So it would mean that we would still need a flex. And that flex, let me just complete this for now. That flex could very well just be Mills moved to the flex. And Kadeem Coleman could be the defender that we just simply park at D6 as he gets more runs under the legs. He's got a 72 first game back, which is not too bad. 19 disposals, 6 marks. It could be that we get Kadeem Coleman in first because he's already started playing. So it could be Coleman in first and then a Mills afterwards. And Mills will have DPP because he's playing pure midfield. So then we'll have a midfielder DPP. Yeah. So that could be it. That could be what we do. So the team could look like we're holding on to Reed for as long as we can, because we're really low down on trades now. So it could just be that the final team will look like this. This team, that back line, plus Kadeem Coleman, for as long as he stays fit. Bont and Butters here, and Mills here. And then we just cruise with that until injuries happen, and then we start trading those guys out sidewaysing to fix it. That could be it. That could be what we do. That could be our finished team. Beggars can't be choosers. This is where we find ourselves at the moment. And hopefully this midfield can carry me to greatness. They've certainly let me down at various stages. This week in particular, I've been let down, but potentially this is what we do. We'll have the best rucks. I think we have some of the top tier caliber mids throughout the duration of the season, zooming out, big picture stuff. Yeah, the back line's going to be really shoddy with Reed and Kitty Coleman. But Reed continues to go up in price and could very well be an easy sideways to someone else if he starts to not perform well if Ridley comes back, for example. But that's not for quite some time. Shea Bolton can be pretty hit or miss as well, but Shea Bolton has a history, of he can do it. He can be a good forward. I mean, he's averaging 90 at the moment. I'm trying to see if I can zoom in. He's averaging 90 at the moment. Show you whiz. What have I done? He averaged 77 last year, but he had checked out from Richmond. The year before that, he went 96.7 in a year where they finished 13th. And he started to get more mid-time. He's getting some mid-time now at the moment as we speak. So scroll down a little bit more. In the game logs, geez, I have to move this over a little bit, sorry. Tog. Yeah, so 28 disposals and 24 disposals with decent TOG. CBA is 48.52. Bit of a bump in CBAs as well. So as long as he continues to play that dynamic role in the midfield, because I think they need it personally, he's capable. He's 26, prime of his career. Maybe I'm trying to convince myself into the pick. But looking at the team, yes, I'm fading Simpson this week. But I think I've got money in the bank. And I think I can do cheap upgrades here and there to not burn through all of the trades that I've got left and leave some for injuries at the end of the season. Let me know what you guys think. This is, as you can see, I hadn't put much thought into it. It's been a very busy weekend for me. And it was pretty negative by and large. It was a pretty negative weekend from a Supercoach and football perspective, but that's not your concern and that's not your problem. And of course, that's something that I have to bear with. And yeah, the team is not in the worst shape possible, but it can certainly get better. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed what you had to see or hear here today, please like, subscribe if you're new, hit the notification bell. If you also want to rant in the comments down below, please do. If you want to send me a commiserations because of my crap choice in football teams, you certainly can as well there. Certainly had a few messages over the weekend about that, both positive and negative. Some trolls and also some concerned messages as well, which is really nice. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoying your week. Tomorrow, the injury news, the injury report tomorrow is going to be massive, absolutely massive. So that will obviously dictate a lot of the trades that I have done here today, as well as, yeah, it will change everything. Thursday night drive home will be huge, absolutely huge with all the carnage out there, absolutely massive. So thank you so much for watching. I'll see you all in the next one. Bye for now.